Hello, everyone. My name is Kristen Hartman. I'm an anchor and reporter for WCPO 9 News, and I am thrilled to be your host for National Philanthropy Day 2020. Each year, we come together to celebrate the dedication and impact of the many volunteers, donors, and nonprofit organizations across our community. We are making history today. This is the first time in 34 years that we are hosting National Philanthropy Day virtually. Thank you for being a part of this historic moment. We all know this has been a tough year, and it's easy to get overwhelmed by all the difficulties going on in our world. But if we really look around, we can see that there is some truly beautiful work being done by people all around the world and right here in our own community. Today, we will get to witness some incredible stories of people who make the place you call home better. People who live right here in the tri-state. If you worry about the world we're living in, this is the lesson that goodness starts at the local level, and you can be a part of that. Our theme today is making a difference together. Each and every one of our award winners lives that mantra and models a way to do that. I cannot wait for you to hear their stories. They are the people I look to cover in my Positively Cincinnati profiles and my Act of Kindness segment every day at 7 o'clock on Channel 9. Yes, you just heard me say every day. I find something good here in the tri-state about every day, and it often revolves around philanthropy. So, when the news cycle gets you down, keep that in mind. Keep our community award winners in mind. They are big, bold, beautiful reminders that we live in a really, really good place, that people are good, and that you don't have to look far to find that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to welcome Rachel Curley, President of the Association of Fundraising Professionals, Cincinnati Chapter.
Hi, my name is Rachel Curley, and I am proud to be the 2020 Association of Fundraising Professionals Board President for the Greater Cincinnati Chapter. Thank you for joining us today for National Philanthropy Day. AFP strives to support professional fundraisers around the world, no matter what their circumstances may be. This year, that mission was more critical than ever as we all pivoted to a new world order. Many, like myself, have never worked from home, given that our work requires us to be out in the community. All of a sudden, we were thrown into a new work environment where the need for philanthropic support was greater than it has ever been before. Just like you, we at AFP have shifted all of our work into a virtual format to support our members, and will continue to do so as long as necessary. That shift includes this signature event, National Philanthropy Day, Making a Difference Together. We understood the need to continue our work championing the philanthropic leaders in the community and are thrilled to be able to present this event in a virtual format. At the same time, new light has been shed on the plight of members of the Black and Indigenous people of color in this country, and we at AFP must also play our part. I am happy to share that a portion of today's revenue will be used to support one of our signature programs, the New Faces of Fundraising program, which seeks to diversify the fundraising field by providing mentorship, internships, and specialized training for diverse fundraisers. I want to be sure to thank all of our sponsors for making this event possible. In particular, I would like to highlight the following organizations for their support of today's event. Fifth Third Foundation, who is celebrating their 10th year as the presenting sponsor of NPD, our media partners, Movers and Makers, and WCPO Channel 9, and our Helping Hand sponsor, Prestige AV and Creative Services. None of this would be possible without them and all of you joining us today. We have prepared a short video highlighting the challenges our community has faced and the radical year that will soon come to a close. Please join us as we see a bit more of where we have been and how far we have come, with still so far to go.
So the setting up of the COVID-19 Regional Response Fund came about in really early March. The virus had already hit Seattle, And we knew that community foundations across the country would be rallying some response. One of the first partners we reached out to, of course, was the United Way. We decided that collectively we would contribute $1 million and seek other key partners in the community, and off we went. So we started out with $5 million in view. The ultimate amount that we raised was $7.3 million, so we far exceeded the goal of $5 million. And once we had the resources in hand, we knew that we needed to very rapidly and flexibly get the resources out into the community where they were needed. There were hundreds of organizations who benefited from this effort. Some amazing stories came out of this work. For example, we were able to move people living in homeless shelters to hotels, because obviously spacing is a huge issue in homeless shelters. We contributed to organizations that were getting PPE to people in their homes, actually delivering boxes of PPE. Just a number of amazing things that happened to support childcare, elder care, housing, food insecurity, all the basic needs that literally were life-saving. I think everyone was just really pleased to see that there was an aligned and collaborative effort where people could pool resources and get them out really quickly. So the heart of this generous city definitely came to life at the time. As we were trying to address this incredible pandemic that no one expected, we reached another pandemic, if you will, and it's related to racial equity. And as George Floyd was murdered and this nation cried out once again with civil unrest against racial injustice, we recognized that we needed to be responsive to that as well. And COVID-19 as a pandemic showed us the incredible amount of racial inequity that exists in our community and nation.
We want what you want, to raise our kids in peace.
We want what you want, to provide for our families.
We want what you want, to live free from unjust prosecution.
We want what you want, to be treated equally, fairly, and just.
We want what you want, to truly see this as a land of opportunity. We want what you want, nothing more and nothing less.
The mural is a way to open up your heart, to listen, to understand why Black Lives Matter is a statement of hope, to understand the stories, to understand that we're no different than anyone else and what we want. It's almost a prayer. But I wanted to figure out a way to say it so people heard our heart and the meaning. So that's what it was all about, is how could I actually say it and people hear us? I never ask people to do what I'm not willing to do. So paying the artist was important because most of us get paid for the things that we love and we do really great. I felt like I was about to ask them to give their greatest gift. And people should be paid for that. Arts Wave and Arts Work and how they showed up. It was simply amazing. I said, I appreciate everyone's help, but I want 17 Black artists to lead each letter. And I want a very diverse group to help paint. But it was really important to me that the artist was able to speak to the poem and actually design the letter. That night, after we actually unveiled the mural, I stayed downtown and I walked down there kind of late. It was a number of people out, but there was this white couple standing, and I actually went up to them. They didn't know who I was. And I said, do you like it? Isn't this beautiful? And they were like, yes. And the gentleman was teary-eyed, and the wife was telling me he finally gets it. Because of this, he finally gets it. And yes, so I think that's it. People listened, people heard with their heart. The Black Lives Matter mural is really a bat signal. It says that we're not okay. So one day I hope that we can turn off the bat signal, and even if it's still down there, we don't have to shine it bright, if you will, that we're really just talking about the fact that we have arrived, that the data says that Black lives truly do now matter.
We just heard powerful stories of how we are making a difference together in our community. While we are facing both a public health and a cultural crisis, the heart of our community has listened and quickly responded, and we have united our efforts for the greater good. It is an amazing accomplishment of what we can do together. The collaborative efforts of the COVID-19 Regional Response Fund and the Black Lives Matter mural are proof that when faced with adversity and tremendous challenges, we have the capacity to provide helping hands and kind hearts to each other. We know we still have work to do. The road is long, but as Martin Luther King Jr. reminded us, quote, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice." As Rachel mentioned in her message, National Philanthropy Day is possible thanks to the generous sponsors in our community. AFP is especially thankful for the tremendous support we receive from our presenting sponsor, Fifth Third Foundation. For the past 10 years, this champion of philanthropy has sponsored this event, and we're grateful for their partnership. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce Heidi Jark with the Fifth Third Foundation, as we said, our presenting sponsor.
Hi everybody and good afternoon. I'm Heidi Jark from the Fifth Third Foundation, and I am so excited to be kicking off our 2020 National Philanthropy Day luncheon. Now, this isn't necessarily what I anticipated for this year. I didn't expect to be speaking to you from my living room, but I do miss the fact that we are not together in Music Hall, but I'm glad that we found a way virtually to come together to celebrate all that we've accomplished over the last year in our community, because despite the pandemic and despite the stress and everything that's been going on the last 8 months, we really have come together as a community to ensure that not-for-profits, through the support of their donors, their boards, their volunteers, that people in our community have the resources we need. Thank you to all the not-for-profits who have pivoted, adjusted, readapted, whatever term you want to use, to make sure that their services are meeting the needs in the community, though the demand is so high. But we just want to thank you for all that you do every day. The one thing I do know in this pandemic is that we all are stressed, we're tired, and we need time to refresh and reflect. And that's one of the things I've always loved about this luncheon, is that I come away feeling renewed, re-energized, and ready to go. And hopefully we'll all experience that as we celebrate philanthropists, volunteers, and people who have made an impact in the industry through their careers. So let's just take time to enjoy. Even though from the privacy of our homes, let's still clap and cheer for those we know and we love in a way to say thank you to them. And then let's take time to renew ourselves and go out and continue the good works that we do tomorrow. So thank you everyone for joining us today. And in closing, all I can say is keep doing what you're doing. Make sure you take care of each other, and most importantly, take care of yourselves. Thanks.
Thank you, Heidi, for those encouraging words. As she reminds us, National Philanthropy Day is a time for us to enjoy and reflect on our valuable work that we have accomplished together this past year. We echo Heidi's message, and our hope, too, is that you are renewed, inspired, and refreshed by our program today so that you're energized and ready to continue the good work for many. Are you ready for more inspiration? You are in for a treat as we welcome our honorary chair, Barbara Turner. Barbara's leadership has inspired others to step up and make a difference. In addition to her role as president and CEO of Ohio National Financial Services, she is a passionate community leader, volunteer, and philanthropist. She has served on countless boards in our community and has a special interest in mentoring at-risk teenage girls and single moms and helping women and children achieve self-sufficiency and financial independence. Barbara launched the Ohio National Women's Network in 2016 and has formerly mentored or sponsored countless associates since joining Ohio National Financial Services. Barbara attributes her success to her faith, her family, her work ethic, and her strong support network. Barbara's life is a testament to our theme this year, making a difference together. It is my honor to welcome Honorary Chair Barbara Turner.
Good morning, everyone. I'm honored to be the honorary chair of this important event. We are living in unprecedented times. Philanthropy is more important now than ever. Congratulations to our honorees, individuals who consistently lift others up. They strive to make a meaningful difference in the lives of others and in our community on a daily basis. I was asked to speak to you on why giving back is important to me. The initial thought that came to mind is it's because it's the right thing to do. The reality is it's so much deeper than that. Before I knew what philanthropy was or how important it is for us to promote the welfare and well-being of others by giving back, I was the fortunate beneficiary of many kind individuals who understood the importance of giving back. Our next door neighbor, Mrs. Cherry, who said she saw something special in me. She told me I was smart and gave me a used set of encyclopedias along with frequent drop offs of books that had 5 cents labels on them that she picked up at garage sales. My dad's friend, who paid the $18 camp fee for me to go to Camp Joy when I was in the sixth grade after I spent a night bawling after learning that my parents couldn't afford to send me. I had everything packed in a pillowcase and was ready to go, and then told that I couldn't go. My father made phone calls, and ultimately, his friend Bo showed up with $18 for me to go. My high school guidance counselor, who encouraged me to enroll in the Upward Bound program because he told me you are college bound and you need to understand what the college experience is like. He also worked hard to have my college application fees waived because he knew affordability was an issue and he didn't want me to limit the opportunities in terms of the colleges that I was looking at. He saw so much more in me than I saw in myself. The nurse who realized that I was at the hospital by myself after surgery when I was a teenager. She stayed over after her shift and read to me several poems. One that sticks with me is If by Rudyard Kipling. She read that poem to me several times, and to this day, is one of my favorites because it tells you that if you can focus, if you can do all of the things that are you're capable of doing, you will. The poem ends, "Be a man, my son," but I'll say, "Be a woman, my girl." And so just so many people poured so much into me. Sherry, who realized that, again, as a child, I would randomly get on buses and go to church because I saw church as an out and as something that you were supposed to do. And when she realized that I was riding buses and coming to church alone, she offered me a ride. But then beyond that, she invited me to join her family for their Sunday traditional lunches. Um, that made such an impression on me that to this day I now have set Sunday lunches and dinners with my family and now my grandchildren, and all of my friends know they're welcome to come anytime. um, my sisters, who did not want me to suffer the fate that they suffered. They did not graduate from high school. They had children in most cases before they were 18. And they really struggled for a long time. And they would always tell me that I needed to learn from their experiences and that I needed to recognize that I was capable of doing more. They frequently made a statement that they didn't have a lot of money, but they had a lot of love and that they were going to pour as much love into me as possible so that I would feel confident and cherished and loved and that I would believe in myself. Um, When I graduated from high school, you would have thought that it was my wedding day. They say it takes a village. My sisters came together for my high school pictures, and every single thing I'm wearing in my high school pictures belongs to a sister. It really took a village to dress me that day. um, Counselors at Women Helping Women and the YWCA who when I was a young single divorced mom, um, really struggling with how to be a good mom while holding down a full job where, some would say, oh, you have a good job, but I was really amongst the working poor. I had to determine how I was going to feed my children. I could take a half a gallon of milk and stretch it to a gallon. I came up with all kinds of remedies to just make sure that my children and I were striving and thriving. And I think the many counselors at YWCA and Women Helping Women who didn't give me a handout, they gave me a hand up and they helped me to believe in myself. Um, and I give these examples because I think it's very important for everyone to know that philanthropy isn't just about money. It's about giving of your time and talent and treasures. Anyone can be a philanthropist. We all have something of unique value to offer and to give. We just have to determine what that something is and be willing to give it to make a difference in the lives of others and in our community. Um, when I think about why I give back now, it's because number one, I feel it's the right thing to do, as I initially said, but also my faith shapes me and the actions that I take in my life every day. Um, but more importantly, I know the power of giving. I know the power of helping to build a strong community. I know that when one of us does something to strengthen our community, to help all of in the community thrive, it's a better place for all of us. I also feel that to whom much is given, much is required. And the more I have, the more I give. And I don't just write a check, I truly try to give. Um, give my time, give my talent, give a hug, whatever is needed in the situation. My most recent example of giving and giving selflessly comes from my executive coach who unfortunately passed a couple of weeks ago. Uh, During my last conversation with her, and I didn't know that she was on the brink of death, but during my last conversation with her, it was almost as if she was taking an inventory of things that she wanted to leave to me. She called me B, and so B, did I send this to you? B, have you read this book? Oh, I'm going to send you a copy. B, do you have this checklist? B, are you ready for your board meeting? And I was like just taking notes, taking notes, taking notes. And then I learned last week that she passed, and she died a few days after we talked. And I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what was the last thing I said to her. Was it thank you? Was it I appreciate you? What did I say? Did I say the right thing? And I was going back through my notes and I immediately realized the gift that she had given me. The fact that in her last hours, she was more focused on giving back to those that she cared for than she was on just taking care of herself and resting. That's love. That's philanthropy. It's a form of philanthropy. And it is the type of action that makes me want to be a better person. It makes me want to live a legacy and leave a legacy of love and giving and caring and being an example and making a difference and just being really selfless. And so I encourage each and every one of you to figure out what it is that you want to give and you are capable of giving. And again, it's not just financially, it's time, it's talents, it's your experiences, it's a hug, it's a smile. And just realize that we are all uniquely equipped with the ability to make a difference. We just have to have the willingness to do so. And so, to our honorees who have demonstrated that they lift as they climb, they are really focused on making a difference in our community, not just during the pandemic, but all the time. I thank you for your service. I thank you for your support to people like Elise, who is so passionate about the power of giving and the power of service. I thank you for reaching out to me and asking me to serve in this role and to speak at this event. And to all of those who came before me that really paved the way for me to be where I'm at today, capable of giving my time, my talent, my treasures. I thank you for what you poured into me. And I promise you, I will continue to pour into others and into our community. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, Barbara, for your leadership and heart for our community and for all you do to make lives better. You are a shining example of bringing people and organizations together to make a difference, and we celebrate the impact you have on our community. Thank you for reminding us that each one of us can be a philanthropist and that we all have unique gifts to share to make a difference. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for, our Community Awards presentation. We will start off the heart of our program with a new category this year. This first award is presented to an outstanding fundraising executive who has demonstrated exceptional leadership and commitment to the fundraising profession. Recipients must have at least 20 years of fundraising experience. Nominator Spencer Cropper writes about this year's inaugural winner, quote, "I could go on and on about the impact Mary Fisher has had on myself, my family, and the Bethesda Foundation. I often hear the term friend raiser. A successful fundraiser must establish a genuine nurturing relationship with a donor. When that is accomplished, the resulting financial donation is an easy one to make. Mary Fisher fits this definition perfectly. We are pleased to recognize Mary C. Fisher as the 2020 Lifetime Achievement in Fundraising Award winner. Let's watch this short video to learn more about the impact Mary has had on our community.
I became acquainted with Mary through a relationship with my mom, Mary had. My mom was diagnosed with breast cancer in the early 90s, and then she went through recurrence in 2002. One of the reasons she chose Bethesda was because they were in the process of developing a nurse navigator program. And Mary was involved with the Bethesda Foundation at the time as one of the senior development directors. Mary developed a relationship with my mom over a course of a couple of years and realized that she had the financial means to make a gift and just nurtured that relationship to a certain extent, and then mom made that gift. So that's how the relationship started.
I've had the pleasure of working with Mary for the last 10 years. I think what makes Mary so special is she is 1,000% donor focused, and it really is about how she engages with donors. Makes them feel so good about investing in important projects. And I think it's just the relationship building she does. That's really her strength.
Shortly after mom passed away, Mary approached us and said, "I think we need to keep your mom's legacy alive, and that legacy of caring and compassion towards others. We're 10 years strong and millions of dollars raised as a result that far exceeded the expectation." So that's what Mary's done since Mom passed away.
For the Bethesda Foundation, she has made so much happen, and I would say specifically for the Mary Jo Cropper Center at Bethesda North and for Hospice of Cincinnati, raising well over $5 million to really create what the breast center is today, turning that from a department in the hospital to really a standalone facility. And her last largest project was a $3 million plus campaign to renovate Hospice of Cincinnati's Blue Ash Inpatient Care Center.
It's hard in the fundraising world to find people who are really, really great listeners, and Mary is a phenomenal listener. This is probably a cliche, but they always say that a successful fundraiser is a successful friend raiser. And that's truly what Mary has been. Some people are fortunate in their careers to have a job that really isn't a job, but it's a passion. And I truly believe that that's Mary. She has found her calling, and her calling is to develop friendships and then to connect those potential donors with the causes that they care about, and then seeing what happens as a result.
We can all attend seminars and webinars and learn, tricks of the trade, but it really is about building and developing relationships with people. I can't think of anyone else who does that any better than Mary.
Elise Hyder, National Philanthropy Day Chair, is here to present the award to Mary C. Fisher. Please help me welcome Mary to the stage.
I am so honored and humbled to receive this prestigious award. I want to thank the Cincinnati chapter of AFP for establishing the Lifetime Achievement and Fundraising Award. I also want to thank my colleagues at Bethesda Foundation for taking the time to nominate me and thinking that I deserve this award. So thank you, Andy, Laura, and Melissa. I'm also honored that all the folks that wrote support letters for me, that was very nice. So I want to thank Jackie Baumgardner, Gary Algie, Spencer Cropper, Dr. Susan Weinberg, and Dave and Leanne Phillips. Well, this is my 30th year in hospital development, and I simply can't believe that much time has passed by. I started my career in Springfield, Ohio, where I worked for 15 years on so many exciting campaigns and projects. And then in 2005, I decided to move back to Cincinnati. And I was fortunate enough to land a job at Bethesda Foundation, which is the fundraising arm of Bethesda Hospital, Hospice of Cincinnati, and Fernside Grief Support Center for Children. When I arrived at Bethesda Foundation, I met Dr. Susan Weinberg, recently retired radiologist and former medical director of the Breast Center. We met morning, noon, and night with donors and prospects. And then one fine day, we met Mary Jo Cropper, and she decided to make the leadership gift to name the Breast Center, the Mary Jo Cropper Family Center for Breast Care. And even though Mary Jo passed away in 2011, her family and friends continue to carry on her legacy through Celebration of Angels. And that event has raised more than $3 million over the past 10 years, which directly benefits the Breast Center. And then on another fine day, we met Harold Thomas. And I think that the term one of a kind is probably overused, but Harold is definitely one of a kind. He supported so many projects and campaigns at Bethesda Hospital, as well as Hospice of Cincinnati. And then ultimately, he and his wife, Jeannie, decided to make a leadership gift to name the Harold and Eugenia Thomas Comprehensive Care Center. I have so many donors that I would love to mention, but I just am fearful time will not allow that. But I have so many people over my 30-year career that have contributed to my success, and they deserve a great deal of credit. Of course, it's all the wonderful and generous donors, but it's also board and committee members, volunteers, colleagues, peers from professional organizations, my family and friends, and so many mentors. They're all a big part of the reason why I'm standing here today. There's an old saying that goes, if you do something you love, you will never work a day in your life. And that's exactly how I feel. I've been blessed with a wonderful life and an extraordinary career. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you, AFP, for this Lifetime Achievement and Fundraising Award. This award is the pinnacle of my career, and I will cherish it forever. Thank you so much.
Wow, a 30-year history of building relationships and philanthropic partnerships has helped so many and created quite an amazing legacy along the way. Congratulations on the impact you have had on our community, Mary. The next award is presented to a corporation or foundation that demonstrates outstanding commitment through financial support, innovation, and through the encouragement and motivation of others to take leadership roles toward philanthropy and community involvement. Nominator Redwood writes of our next award winner, quote, "The R.C. Doerr Foundation has supported hundreds of nonprofits in Northern Kentucky, creating a positive impact in the community that is incalculable. Just like its founder, the foundation is a generous, though quiet organization with an abiding compassion for those in need. We are pleased to recognize the R.C. Doerr Foundation as the 2020 Outstanding Corporation Foundation of the Year. Let's watch this short video to learn more about the impact this foundation has had on our community.
Our mission at Master Provisions is to serve God by connecting resources like food and clothing to people in need through nonprofit partners. Our local outreach is in Northern Kentucky, Greater Cincinnati, and a little bit of Southeast Indiana. In total, we assist 208 other nonprofit organizations that are involved in feeding the hungry. That's our main mission right here in Greater Cincinnati, is helping to feed hungry people.
Horizon Community Funds is a newer community foundation. We're a public charity that was established in 2017. And so as an organization, we work with donors, with corporate donors, with community leaders, different nonprofit organizations to help unite resources to raise the quality of life for all members of the Northern Kentucky community.
The R.C. Doerr Foundation has helped us since 2013 to build capacity. They've strengthened our infrastructure, providing funding for trucks, cold storage, as well as our volunteer education center. They've been instrumental in every step of growth with us since 2013 through their annual funding.
They've been collaborative and so supportive in so many different ways, including really being a partner as a funder and allowing us to talk about what the true needs of the community are and where we can unite together in order to make deeper impact.
The Doerr Foundation was one of the first groups to step up to the plate to donate to the Horizon Community Fund of Northern Kentucky. A lot of times we forget there's more to Northern Kentucky than Boone, Kenton, and Campbell, and their mission is to serve 12 counties along the river. And they saw that we partner with many nonprofits that are getting food out in those regions in Northern Kentucky. So Mr. Ziegler came to us to talk about how can we creatively fund our efforts to get more food out in the entire 12-county area they serve. I'd start by calling Mr. Ziegler brilliant, and I don't use that term lightly, but I also think he is a philanthropic adjudicator. In the name of helping others, he looks at the facts, determines what the best fit is, and how to resolve the problem. And he has been with the Doerr Foundation since the very beginning in 1993.
The R.C. Durr Foundation has actually made so much impact. It's probably immeasurable in terms of what they've been able to do. They've granted out over $25 million in the recent decades that they've been awarding grants to larger, more established organizations, down to becoming a champion for the smaller organizations as well. They've supported groups like the CHNK Behavioral Health, which used to be the Children's Home of Northern Kentucky. They've helped Meals on Wheels, which provides services and supports to seniors in Northern Kentucky, and even an organization like Faith Pharmacy, who is providing needed medications to those who aren't able to have their prescriptions filled for whatever reason. And so knowing that there is that trusted funder, that partner in the community who can work with organizations of every size has really helped to create a ripple effect in Northern Kentucky and to continue that legacy for R.C. Durr.
The Durr Foundation wants to remain behind the scenes, doing the most good with the money that Mr. Durr generated, and they want to carry on his legacy of helping people in need. They do a great job of it, and they will not toot their own horn, but they will proudly help support the causes that they believe in. And the Durr Foundation has a tagline, the heart of Northern Kentucky. I would submit that Will Ziegler is the biggest part of that heart.
Rachel Curley, president of the Association of Fundraising Professionals Cincinnati chapter, is here to present the award to the R.C. Durr Foundation. Please help me welcome President and CEO Wilbert L. Ziegler to the stage.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. He was born a bit over 100 years ago in a little area called Atwood, Kentucky, a wide space in the rural Kenton County Road. At the end of high school, his aunt gave him $300 to go to college. R.C. Durr took the $300, bought a truck, and such began the saga of R.C. Durr. Miles and miles of expressway throughout Kentucky, crisscrossing from east to west, north to south, bear the name and were constructed by the R.C. Durr Construction Company. During his lifetime, he founded two banks, the Bank of Boone County, upon which rests the Northern Kentucky branches of Fifth Third Bank, and the Bank of Kentucky, upon which rests BB&T Bank. He was an entrepreneur. He was someone who was most successful. But of all the things that he accomplished in his lifetime, perhaps the greatest was in 1993 when he founded the R.C. Durr Foundation. Mr. Durr was a very charitable man, and much of his fortune was passed into the foundation during his lifetime. And at his death, he funded it with basically the residue of his estate. Besides his generosity, though, Mr. Durr was known for one thing. He was most humble. Over the many years of the foundation, you see very few buildings, monuments, or whatever named after R.C. Durr. He was known for his modesty. He was known as a humble man. At the R.C. Durr Foundation, when we learned that we had been nominated for this award, we were certainly honored. We had no idea of any possibility that I would ever be standing here accepting this award as the winner. But as time went on, we learned the R.C. Durr had been suggested and made and honored as the winner of this particular honor. To those who nominated us, Redwood, Master Provisions, the Brighton Center, the Center for Great Neighborhoods, and Horizon Community Funds, we thank you. And be satisfied that we will be there for you as you continue your work to better our community. To the Association of Fundraising Professionals, and particularly to the more than 400 members that comprise this organization, I would say to you in the spirit of Mr. Durr, we are greatly humbled by this honor. Rest assured that we will receive it, we will honor it, and it will spur us on in order to make Northern Kentucky, the greater Cincinnati area, a better place in which to live.
The R.C. Dorr Foundation is truly the heart of Northern Kentucky and has made lives better for countless people in our community and will continue to do so for generations to come. R.C. Dorr certainly has a humble and generous heart. Thank you, Will, for the kind words about R.C. Dorr and for continuing the good work he established. Congratulations to the R.C. Dorr Foundation. The Outstanding Youth in Philanthropy Award is given to an individual, group, or organization of young people who have exceptional leadership skills and whose efforts result in young people learning about and participating in philanthropy. The School for Creative and Performing Arts says of our next award winner, Cameron Morrow's all-in approach to her personal mission to improve underrepresented youth in the education system by working towards inclusion and equal access shows her willingness to not sit on the sidelines. Instead, Cameron is willing to roll up her sleeves and get dirty in the service of making our community more equitable and more just. Cameron Morrow is an inspiration to other youth through her many leadership and philanthropic efforts and truly is an outstanding youth in philanthropy. Let's hear more about Cameron Morrow and the impact she has had on our community.
The mission of Magnified Giving is to educate, inspire, and engage teens in philanthropy and good service works in their community. Cameron was one of our youngest students to get involved when she was in the 7th grade at the School for Creative and Performing Arts in her creative writing class. And she's been a wonderful philanthropist ever since.
Cameron is studying human development and community engagement, and she will also get a certificate in creative writing. Cameron is a Darwin T. Turner Scholar, an Honors Scholar, a Munoz Scholar, and a McNair Scholar. So she is rocking and rolling on campus. She is involved in everything.
She's one of our young student advisors. And we also know that she's been very impactful with Breakthrough Cincinnati. She's been very involved in Cincinnati Children's Hospital. And all of this was before she even got out of high school. And now while she's in college, she's created programs, she's heading up initiatives on the campus, and she's just getting started.
She is just a warm spirit. She has a smile that's contagious. When she has a goal, she's driven. She goes for it, and she really doesn't need anyone to tell her how to do it. You give it to her, and she's gonna run with it. She's very driven, passionate, and goal-oriented.
Cameron is very successful encouraging others because as a natural leader, people want to be in the room with Cameron. If you've ever talked to her for more than 5 minutes, you want to make it an hour, and you want to make that 3 hours because she will light up your new world of possibilities. She's a hopeful, fun person, and she's an action-oriented person.
We have over, 500 organizations on campus, and she saw that there was a need. So she created the organization. So that's impact. She truly is inspiring. She's not looking for the accolades. She's not looking for awards, but I'm glad she did get this one. But this is what she does. It's her life's work, it's her passion, and she's gonna go forth, and if she sees a need, she's gonna address the need. So philanthropy, it's giving, and that's her spirit. She's got a giving spirit.
Wow, the future looks bright. Please help Elise Hyder welcome Cameron Morrow to the stage.
I am extremely honored to receive the recognition of the 2020 Outstanding Youth in Philanthropy Award, from the Association of Fundraising Professionals Cincinnati chapter. To receive this acknowledgement is a great honor and privilege, and I wouldn't be standing here today if it weren't for those who have blazed the trail before me and created a path for others to follow. It really does take a village. This proverb has been demonstrated by those closest to me, my friends, family, teachers, and mentors who have all taken the time to pour into me and teach me the importance and the power of having a community around you. Being surrounded by change makers motivates me to spark passion in others and make a difference in their lives. As a child, I dreamed of changing the world. I admired those who I saw giving back and working to make life a little bit better for someone else. Being introduced to the Magnified Giving program at a young age exposed me to servant leadership and inspired me to find a way to give back to others in my daily life. Learning of Magnified Giving founder Roger Grind's story, an incredible individual with the vision to educate, inspire, and engage students and give them the opportunity to learn firsthand about the importance of giving, was life-changing. Roger's story is one of perseverance, of facing life's obstacles head-on and making the most of his gifts. Roger's dedication, like many of our ancestors, encouraged me to dive down deep and find that thing that I am passionate about and dedicate my life to supporting it. That thing has been advocating for educational equity through Breakthrough Cincinnati. Breakthrough Cincinnati has allowed me to teach the next generation of leaders and empower youth to be the change that they want to see. I enjoy working in and with the people in my community and improving life for generations to come. I am a proud Bearcat. I am eternally thankful for the people and the places that make the University of Cincinnati feel like home. Spaces like the African American Culture and Resource Center and the Office of Ethnic Programs and Services have shown me firsthand the importance of having a safe space and have granted me lifelong friendships and mentors. Being active on my university's campus has allowed me to step out of my shell and participate in student organizations that serve the student body by uplifting and celebrating the diverse experiences of underrepresented students. Creating my own student group, a book club, and a safe space for women of color has allowed me to center the narratives of Black and brown women and encourage relationships to be built and vulnerable conversations to be had. Through campus efforts, I've been able to connect with incredible students across campus and serve as a liaison and an advocate for racial equity on my campus. It is never too early or too late to make a difference in someone else's life. Giving back to the community is more than just donating money. You can share your talents and your time by finding something that you're passionate about and putting in the work to make it better. This work is far from over. We must all continue working to ease burdens and uplift our neighbors. Through unity, through shared stories, and diverse lived experiences, can we accomplish the change that our community, that our world so greatly needs. Thank you so much.
How exciting and inspiring it is to see such a creative young woman blazing a trail and making lives better along the way. Thank you, Cameron, for living your purpose and for leading with your heart. You are an outstanding role model for all generations. Congratulations, and keep up the great work. The Volunteer of the Year Award recognizes a volunteer who has demonstrated a commitment to time and outstanding leadership to a specific organization or cause, and who is a role model for the next generation of volunteers. I got to do a story on this gentleman. The Legal Aid Society writes this of our next award winner, quote, "Jerry's clients recognize he is in their corner." One client note says it all. It reads, "You are truly an angel walking this earth, filled with empathy, generosity, and goodness in your heart." It is our honor to recognize Gerald H. Green as the Outstanding Volunteer of the Year. Let's watch the video to learn more of the impact Gerald has had on our community.
Jerry has been a volunteer for Legal Aid for 18 years. He came to visit with me very shortly after he graduated from law school at the University of Dayton, and that was in, I think, 2002. Jerry's a very special person. He made a decision at really a young age when he retired from Procter & Gamble that he was going to have a second act and do something meaningful with the next stage of his life.
At the Taft, he is a strong leader and a gentle leader at the same time. And his leadership helps make the Taft a better organization.
What he said many times, which is that you can only play so much golf and softball, and you should really do something else.
I am fortunate to have in one person, as my board chair right now, an engineer and a lawyer. And about 4 years ago maybe, ODOT, Ohio Department of Transportation, began a project right at 300 feet across from the front door of the Taft in Lytle Park, where they had to dig down 20 feet to fix the fans in the Lytle Tunnel. And we made it clear from the very start that art museums, especially us, we are allergic to vibration. Because Jerry spoke the language of the engineers, he was able to convince them that there would be no drilling, no jackhammering. To get down 20 feet, it would be augured. This was all volunteer. I mean, it was hours and hours and hours and hours of time. Thank you, Jerry.
Jerry has had really a very special impact on the families he's helped, as well as on the legal aid staff. I think that they feel like he so cares about them. He really takes time. He's a very good listener. He really is able to convey his caring, conveying that he's on their side.
We have sessions devoted to governance and board leadership, and my peers roll their eyes. Not all of them. Some of them roll their eyes. I don't. I cross my fingers and I count my blessings that Jerry continues to love the Taft as much as we love Jerry leading the Taft.
Please help Rachel welcome Gerald H. Green to the stage.
Thank you very much for this honor. I'm deeply appreciative. 55 years ago, my wife Kate, our brand new baby daughter, and me, we moved to Cincinnati, courtesy of Procter & Gamble. We fell in love with the city as we raised our family here. When I decided to retire from P&G in 1998, we connected with the Greater Cincinnati Foundation to support our favorite charities during our lifetime, and for that support to continue through our children after we're gone. Once I did retire, Kate said to me, "What are you going to do now? You can't play golf and softball all the time." I don't know, I thought that was a good idea. But off I went to law school at age 60. After law school, a friend suggested I talk with legal aid. One conversation with Mary Asbury and I was sold. I immediately chose to volunteer my time on the legal aid staff. Kate and my interests dovetailed in my area of practice. After our children were grown, Kate went to work at the YWCA. I learned a lot from her about the Y's domestic violence work. So when I joined legal aid, I asked to work in family law and specialized in domestic violence cases. 18 years later, I continue this work. Living in poverty and being a victim of domestic violence is a terrible burden. I'm grateful to be the voice for my clients in court, a voice that they would otherwise not have. I always say that while I am technically a volunteer, I actually do get paid in hugs. The Taft Museum of Art is another place where Kate and my interest intersected. Kate was a docent there for over 30 years and loved every minute. I grew to appreciate what a wonderful asset the Taft is for our community. The museum is a gem. The exhibitions and the education programs are exceptional. I was delighted to be asked to be on their board 11 years ago, and now have been board chair for 8 years. I believe that it's our collective duty to give back to the community. So it's very special to receive this award for something I so thoroughly enjoy doing. Thank you.
It is amazing to see someone take their talents and find a way to improve the lives of others long after leaving their profession. Jerry, trading payment in dollars for payment in hugs has allowed you to touch many lives and many more to come. Thank you for making a difference, and congratulations. The Philanthropist of the Year Award is presented to an individual with a record of exceptional generosity who, through financial support, has demonstrated outstanding civic and charitable responsibility and who encourages others to take philanthropic leadership roles in their communities. The Down Syndrome Association of Greater Cincinnati has this to say about our next award winners. Quote, Bill and Jenny are connection creators. They seize opportunities to bring people and organizations together to raise awareness, resources, and new realities for the disability community. It is our honor to recognize Bill and Jenny McCloy as the Philanthropists of the Year. Please enjoy this video to learn more about this remarkable couple.
Melodic Connections was started in 2008, and it's founded on the principles that if we make music playing accessible to all people, then we can really focus on the community building and relationship building aspects of playing music together.
So the mission of the Ken Anderson Alliance is to provide live, work, and engage opportunities for adults with disabilities. The population we serve are adults with disabilities, age 21 and older, and we have 215 participants in our program right now.
So Bill and Jenny's son, Sam, was a member of our inaugural class. Our first class was for individuals with different types of learning needs, and their son, Sam, has Down syndrome, and they signed him up for the class, knowing that he likes music. Sam loved the class, he loved the people in the class, he loved our instructors, and then Bill and Jenny just, because they saw how much their son loved this, they wanted to make sure that it was accessible to as many people as possible in the city.
And something that they've seen is he needs, day-to-day care. He needs assistance because of seizure disorder. He needs assistance with 24-hour supervision. They've become very familiar with shared supports and what's needed, but also the challenges that families may face in trying to get their loved one in the community to live as independently as possible. Bill and Jenny are making an impact on future generations by really bringing awareness to the forefront of the needs for adults with disabilities, but also being very intentional about trying to make it systemic in change, showing people at legislative levels, at community levels, at donor levels that this is a problem we can tackle. This is a problem we can overcome. There are great ways to do this, and they've been modeled in other states, and they're big champions for showing people locally that, hey, this can be done.
Bill and Jenny McCloy are generous community builders. They know that a resilient community relies on not only successful for-profits in town, but also successful nonprofits who help build, grow, and sustain the relationships among the people that live in that community.
They give with their money, they give with their time, they give with attendance at events, and they really help support the growth of our true mission in the community to help adults with disabilities.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2020 Philanthropists of the Year, Bill and Jenny McCloy.
Good afternoon. Jenny and I have been so blessed to be able to assist the thousands of volunteers that serve the underserved in our community. Our son, Sam, has been our inspiration and our meaning in our efforts to try to support and do more for those with disabilities in our community. We are so grateful to God for him allowing us to have the resources to contribute. We also want to thank the Association of Fundraising Professionals and what they do in recognizing, highlighting and supporting the people that serve our community and volunteering and their charity. We do, again, thank you for this recognition. It's not why we do it, but we appreciate it.
Our son Sam has broadened our awareness of the need to assist those who can't always care for themselves. We are grateful to be able to be a part of the equation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bill and Jenny are an outstanding example of humble givers and doers. When working side by side with a partner, it doesn't just double the effort, it increases it exponentially. Their love for our community has made a significant impact on so many lives. It is clear, Bill and Jenny, you both lead with a servant's heart and are committed to making our world a better place for everybody. Congratulations and thank you for all you do. We just heard 5 inspiring stories of individuals and organizations who choose to stand up and to be heroes in our community every single day. They have showed us that by working together, we can make the greatest difference. Please, let's give a round of applause to all of our award winners today. Their impact creates a ripple effect that benefits the entire community. We celebrate you, outstanding philanthropists, and we thank you. In addition to the heroes we just recognized, we also would like to take this time to celebrate the honored guests of nonprofits around our region today. Our lives are better thanks to the countless donors and volunteers who make nonprofit work possible. Please put your hands together for our honored guests today, who are also listed on this event website under the Honored Guests tab. Each one of us can make a difference through our time, our talent, and our treasure. On this National Philanthropy Day in Greater Cincinnati, let's make a collective impact together. We are asking everyone who is watching to donate $5 to your charity of choice. Let's create a ripple effect of kindness today. And let's have some fun with it. Please take a picture of you making your donation and post it on social media with the hashtag #MakingADifferenceTogether. It's that easy. Today's event would not have been possible without the collaborative efforts of our community. We'd like to thank our generous sponsors, our Rockstar National Philanthropy Day Committee, the AFP Board, and the many individuals and organizations who poured their time, their heart, and their effort into today's first ever virtual celebration. At this time, we would like to celebrate the collective impact you have on our community. When all of us, including volunteers, donors, corporations, foundations, and agencies join together, we change lives and make this world a better place. In the spirit of our theme, Making a Difference Together, we've put together a video to show your love for our community.
say, can they be that close? Just let me state for the record, we're giving love in a family dose. We are family. Hey, I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. Sing it to me. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. Living life is fun, and we just begun to get our share of this world's delight. High hopes we have for the future and our goals in sight. We know we don't get depressed. Here's what we call our golden rule. Have faith in you and the things you do. You won't go wrong. Oh no, this is our family jewel. We are family. Sing it to me. I got all my sisters with me. Sing it to me. We are family. I can hear you, y'all. Get up, everybody, and sing. We have faith in you and the things you do. Hey, I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, y'all.
That music always makes you want to dance. On behalf of the Association of Fundraising Professionals, thank you all for all that you do to change lives right here in our tri-state region. All right, so the party does not stop here. You like the light play? Please join us for post-event networking. We've planned a fun and lighthearted 30-minute networking opportunity to connect with one another virtually. Please click on the Zoom link provided in the chat box and you will be magically transported. We ask you to keep making a difference and share your love for our community all year long. We are in this together. Thank you for joining us at National Philanthropy Day. We look forward to seeing you next year.